Here's an easy, quick technique to get your bun shape perfect first time. Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. So I've had a little bit of a change around. I've switched into two channels now, so I still have the Harry John page, which is all for DIY hair and makeup. So if you're working on yourself, you can go over to that channel and see things there. If you're here for the Updo coach, and that is how to get longer lasting updos no matter what the hair type. This is a request that came over from Instagram, so if you do have any requests, you can pop them in the comments below, and if you do follow me on Instagram, then you can pop them over there too. This one is from Lamage. She's called Karina, and she's only about shoulder length. She's not really thick, to be honest. I know a lot of the doll's heads tend to be quite thick. She is coarse. As you can see, we've only got this small amount of hair to work with at the bottom. I like to work on heads that are a little bit more challenging, so it shows you what you can do. Here you will notice that I've already built her onto a donut. I always like to start with a ponytail section and a donut for padding, so it just helps with structure, so your hair's not going to start collapsing through the night, make sure it lasts longer, but as well it also has all the hairpins mostly go into the donut, which makes it much more comfortable for your client. So to start off with, we're going to start with our ponytail section from underneath. So like I was saying, this doll's head is quite coarse, but she's not overly thick, as you can tell. So I'm just going to tease into that section. It's not overly teased, so if you have some clients, I know some people have seen quite a lot of comments where people are worried about how much back combing goes into it and it being damaging, but this type of back combing is really soft, and you can comb that back out if you want to go over. So we're taking the ponytail section first, underneath, and then this is going to cover the majority of that underneath. So you need to make sure that you're working with a good prep, and if you are wanting to know how to get a good grab on your curl and what products to use, I have a video here that you can go and check that out, which shows you how to curl hair that does not like to curl. And then that will help you get that bit of structure. Sometimes if you've not put a bend or a curl through the hair, the ends tend to stick out when you're trying to roll them in, so if you've put that bit of a bend through, it just helps it manipulate it into the style much easier. So we're just going to take the hair in the fingers, and then we're going to pinch that and put that underneath the donut, and then I'm going to fan this out. So this hairstyle on Karina is actually from a textured updo that I did on the training school, and you can get one-off lessons, so you want to see this more in depth and how to put the whole style together. There's a ton of lessons over there, and they are all step by step, walk you through everything, how to prep. So once we have this bottom section in, and that's going to cover a good half of the donut underneath, you could add a hair extension to this, use a slightly smaller piece if a hair's not going to reach. So you want to think about the size of the donut in comparison to how much hair we've got to work with. Just to enhance the bun shape, I'm just going to add another pin underneath there. Okay, so we're now going to split this into two sections. So I'm going to pin this section out of the way so it's not getting in the way. With this being a smooth style, you need to work quite cleanly. And then we're going to take underneath here. So you want to make sure all the section is nice and smooth so you can't see any of the back combing coming from underneath. And then this section is going to pull across what we've just done, so it's hiding all that, and then the ends are going to disappear into the roll that we did at the beginning. And then I'm going to add in a pin. Use the palm of your hand to get rid of any flyaway hairs. So now we've done this section, we've got our third section. I'm going to, what you want to make sure is the kind of got a little bit of a crisscross. Everything's morphing into one and it's all swishing round. So work with what you've got and see what wants to travel where. So I'd say that is going to hang better going in that direction. You need to assess all your hair that you've got to work with and see what will do best. And every time you put it together, it's going to be slightly different. So depending on who you're working with. So I'm going to take half of that section over from the furthest side, and then that is going to come down and disappear into that same gap. But you can see now that's created a little bit of a pattern. So we've got this little bit of different swishes all going into the hair now. And then if we bring this up to attach to there, you start to see your knot is forming quite nicely there. So we're going to take a little bit of hair, so I'm not opening it, I'm just pinching the hair, taking it up to that section and then pushing it up. And because it's a curvy grip, the end will connect with the donut and hold really well. And then that is where we're up to so far. I'm going to spray that section again, because again we're doing quite a tight, neat knot. And now it's the final piece. So, because we're all nice and blended on this side, we can now take this piece over this way, and then that will give us the final piece of the knot. So we're going to back comb on the top this time, because it's going to be travelling over this way. And then we're going to hold the hair in your fingers. Use your thumb to hold that in place this time, so it's the opposite way around. Then you can see clearly where you're working, and it just makes it easier for you to judge. And then you're not putting, sometimes if the sections touch each other, they can start making things quite messy. So if we keep it that way, keeps them together. And then this section going across here will hide any hairpins. We can pull this out across. I've just in the very end put a tiny twist just to nip those ends in together. So it is kind of a work of art and just working out what goes where, what wants to go where. And if your client's got any finishing touches like hairpins or anything, you can use those over the top of any areas as well. But ideally you don't want to be able to see any hairpins whatsoever. You can build this with hair extensions too, so if she hasn't got much hair to work with, you can create all your volume through the top and then build this with a donut and some hair extensions. So you could build it onto any hair. And then we can pull some of this down a little bit, and that will again hide and keep it nice and draped and soft. And that is it. That is our little knot. That's the end result, guys. I hope you found it useful and I hope you liked it. I've just finished it off with a couple of hairpins from the bobby pin. If there's any other tutorials you would like to see, please let me know in the comments. And also if you found this useful, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you would like to be notified for the next one. That is us. Ciao ciao from me and Karina, and we will see you on the next one.